Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daybreak, and in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player from Team SEV Life, the one, the only, HyuN. His opponent down here in the bottom left-hand corner, that's our blue Protoss player from Startail, PartinG. He's got to make up a couple of games here to tie this back up, though.
Yeah, needs to build up the barometric pressure in his thermometer.
Yep.
There's a bit too much pressure in my water bottle there. I don't know if you heard it gurgle.
That's
you know how you like pour and it's like,
yeah,
it does like that, but when you
don't ever do that motion again. You guys couldn't see it, but anyway. So ladies and gentlemen, the map is Daybreak. This is actually a map that a lot of Zerg players still like. We've mentioned time and time again on this map that we've fallen out of the, well, I'm just going to max on 200 supply, holds you to 2 bases, and there's nothing you can do about it. Protoss players have figured out how to escape from that.
And this is PartinG specifically.
Yeah, exactly. And but this is also a good map for that classic 1-1-1 as well. The question is, though, are we going to have that nice long game that stabilizes, or are we going to see early aggression out of both of these gentlemen?
Yeah, PartinG's been using such a wide variety of openings, and it's making it difficult to guess what he's doing, but HyuN doesn't seem to have a problem with difficult reads, is the reality of what's going on here. I mean, it's so impressive that HyuN has predicted everything pretty accurately thus far. Even that 7-gate, I mean, yeah, he took a 4th, but he wasn't droning. He was actually making units the entire time he was taking that, so we're going to find out exactly what PartinG decides to whip out this game. Will it finally be the... Oh, man, you didn't catch that. I'm so stunned.
No,
I'm so stunned.
You
never hesitate to... That's a lie. That's just a blatant lie, Kevin.
No, it's the truth. Anyway, so once again, yeah, PartinG's going for Nexus first, and that means he can't pylon block, so he gets away there after delaying this as long as possible. Back on his opponent's side of things, Forge coming up, and this is, hey, what we can ascertain from this so far, it's a PVZ. This is about as standard as PVZ starts. This is the 4th out of 5 games that we've actually opened basically the exact same way for both players.
All right. So second pylon, things looking pretty standard. I mean, I'm waiting for those 2 gases in PartinG space. HyuN looks like he actually doesn't have a drone. He's at 20 supply and he hasn't. Okay, it looks like it's just leaving now to go drop his 3rd. Yeah. So talking about how this map develops, PartinG, he'll either go for a really fast 3rd here. He could be a little bit grubby, actually. He's a big fan of going for Stargate play with an observer on this map, going up, killing around all the creep tumors, forcing your opponent to, he makes a Void Ray. Force your opponent to make spore crawlers and such, and expand behind it while maintaining map control through the use of the Observer and Void Ray tech routes. But PartinG, I mean, he does like his Stargate. That's pretty evident. He's used it in half his game so far.
Yeah.
It hasn't proved the most successful. In fact, I think both games he went that he lost. He lost both those in his 7-gate, right?
Yeah, it wasn't really due to the Stargate play, though, in game number 1 that he lost.
He should have.
Yeah, he cleared out map control.
Really.
He followed up with DTs and killed a 3rd. He just, you know, kind of flubbed up the counter-attack, the counter-all-in, I guess I should say, from HyuN.
Cybercore going down. Waiting for, I don't know, I guess he's chrono boosting. I mean, he's been getting it done a little bit later, but whatever. So, things here, you got PartinG. Oh, that's what we were talking about, yeah. So, alternatively, you know, we mentioned what HyuN, but PartinG, yeah, he could be going for the Stargate. He could also go for a fast 3rd. We've seen a lot of Protosses actually go for a really fast 3rd. You drop like 3 gateways, cannons, and then go for Robotech. You actually wait until after you go for the Nexus. So that's definitely a possibility as well, especially because we're at 530 and he's on 2 gas still.
And we see once again the +1 weapons has started before Warp Gate. And he's going from Zealot into Stalker right afterwards. This is the way that the last game opened on Entomb Valley. I'm not saying that he's going to do, I mean, because you can't really pull off the same kind of a 3rd base fake 7-gate that you can on Entomb Valley because of the way the bases are configured. But this is still obviously a very similar follow-up to last time. We'll see if anything changes. It is actually a Robo.
Okay, 3rd and 4th gas going down afterwards, so it could, it's just a little bit different, you know. He is making the Sentry as well, but for some, you know, I'm kind of expecting Twilight Council and Expand again here. We'll be keeping an eye, though, for PartinG. Meanwhile, HyuN is looking like he's got his, see, we see it again, the 2 gases at the natural Expand, no gases in his main base, makes it a little bit more difficult for PartinG to tell exactly what HyuN's doing. But
once again, everything is pretty consistent normal from HyuN. I mean, he's opened the exact same way, 4 out of 5 games. And 4 out of 5 games, it's worked incredibly well for him. So, well, I guess 3 out of the first 4, we don't know how we'll do in this game yet. So, But anyway, robotics facility finished up. We see observers on the way. There are sentries being created, but with the Twilight Council following this up, let's see what HyuN actually has a read of, and it's not too much. Doesn't even have a read on the gas either.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any vision at that third either, which, I mean, this is typically, you know, as we were talking about earlier, we saw it in Game 1, I think. It's an expand build, you know. You are investing into Blink, you're putting a lot of gas into it. We saw that because he went for the third and fourth gases, so he doesn't have enough gas really to pump out Immortals and Sentries, which is what you want to do, but his, you know, his third and fourth gas are a little too late. So here, he gets the third and fourth gas. Now he can get Blink. He starts +2, and then we should wait to see him expand here, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. HyuN, on the other hand, he should scout. We see as the Overlord actually in position to see a probe run over that can't see it can actually see the tight corner on the edge. So that third could go down without HyuN seeing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the path that Andrew was talking about there. This little path, which is actually pretty common scouting route, honestly.
Yeah.
This Overlord could actually move over to right here, would still have vision of the ramp, and would be able to check out everything that's off to the left.
It is a little surprising.
But, as we can see, gateways number 4, 5, and 6 are on the way, +2. There are sentries. There's an Immortal.
So, I mean, everything here points to a later attack from PartinG. It's not going to hit around, you know, 9:30 when... a lot of these attacks actually move out closer to 9 minutes and hit around 9:30, 9:45. This is going to be pretty late, but HyuN getting in there with that Overseer gets vision of almost everything. Is there anything he missed?
No, he sees everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he saw these gateways were just starting to get put down again, so I guess he doesn't have knowledge on how many gateways.
That's actually the vision of right when a gateway is completing, it like phases out of existence for a second and then comes back in full, and it should be on his mini-map, but it's just that he can't.
You're right.
Yeah, you can't see them. I actually have lost games because of that.
Well, as we can see, he's going to shut down this. Yeah, it's just immediately canceled. It's a 100 mineral benefit for him, and we just became 150, just became 250, 350. So, well done. HyuN manages to eke out yet another advantage. Throws away a few roaches off to the side. A little bit careless there. Pathing kind of working against him, but that's quite all right. Yeah, but like you were saying, though, we wouldn't see Blink if this was the traditional like 7-gate Immortal Sentry all in with lots of soul. This would have this would have already hit by now. Clearly, this was the expand build, and PartinG not able to pull it off yet though, because HyuN once again he's going up to a 4th base. He's already got gas number 7 and 8 underway. He's going to be able to tech like a madman. Yeah,
he's in a great position once again. We keep finding ourselves saying that HyuN's just in a great position right now, but the reality is once again he is. PartinG getting his third down at 11 minutes approximately. And, well, a very quick robotics bay, actually, here from PartinG. So we'll see if he can make something happen with that. And Infestor's actually, just starting up right now for HyuN.
Okay, well, there's enough sentries there that he only traps a couple of Zerglings, so a pretty big waste of energy there to only grab 4 Zerglings in total. With that being said, though, he's still got enough sentries that he's going to be able to be safe for a little while here. But once these Infestors hit, HyuN does have the potential to hit that big attack he sometimes likes to hit behind a number of Infestors. He's already making Lings to make up for that, too. Spire's on the way, so he's getting all his tech in place, and I think he may decide to try the front here in a bit.
Spire Hive started at the exact same time. That's what we've seen out of TSL HyuN quite a number of games so far. And it's got a 50% win ratio for him so far. He did lose that game on Ohana, of course, but won that last one. So now, I mean, he's not as close to being maxed out as we've seen him in other games in this set. But he is really heavy on the Ling composition, so this is a tougher map to throw away your Lings cost efficiently. I'm a little bit surprised that he's gone for the heavy Lings, but as long as he complements it with a lot of Infestors, he should be able to get in there, drop infested Terrans everywhere, and just use the Lings essentially to buffer for them when the infested Terrans can get in some damage. So I think that's what we're going to see out of HyuN. We just really got to wait, but he does need to find a way to use some of this supply up so he can make broods.
And looks like he's going to plan to do that by making his way over to the third. At least he's staging up for it. Zerglings are going to run blocker here for just a second, but everything's going to hit at just about the same time. Infestors decide it's not worth it yet. Let's take a look at his vision. Looks like, yeah, HyuN's seen pretty much everything up at the front. That is a sizable army waiting for him.
Yeah, there is a Colossi with that now. Now, it doesn't have extended thermal lance, but that's not too much of a factor when you're dealing with Ling infestors. I mean, yes, it can get caught by a fungal growth, but that's not what I'm expecting here from HyuN. It should be more of an infested Terran kind of attack because, of course, the fungals aren't going to really matter if there's force fields everywhere that stop the Lings from doing any damage. But he's just trying to find an angle of attack right now. He really does want to use these forces.
Nice job picking off the Observer sitting overhead. And snipes one of those out. Looks like a second is actually making its way over to the base. 10 spine crawlers coming up. Let's see if this becomes the actual spine crawler wall or if he wants to just increase his supply. Looks like it is just going to be a spine crawler wall to make sure that he doesn't die to any sort of counter attacks or any sort of follow-up to this. Letting a few Zerglings die so we can start to morph in some more Corruptors and Broodlords. And things are looking pretty normal for HyuN.
So, an Overlord in a position to try to scout. Is there actually an... Can we check if there's an observer with... Oh my goodness, 110 Zerglings, yeah. Is there an observer with the army of...
No, this is the only observer on the map.
Yeah, so what HyuN could actually do, he could put an Overlord in a position like on the edge because of the vision range that it has available to it as opposed to the Colossi, and be able to see the positioning of PartinG. Because he wants to attack right now, but he's finding he just can't. He's not sure where the army is, so he doesn't want to move in with everything and actually just lose all of his units for free. And if PartinG's army's in position, that's exactly what will happen. So that's why he threw away just a couple Lings, and now he's going to have a small quantity of Broodlords, but that's not too bad for him.
No, I mean, how many Lings do you still have left? 107. So I mean, it's like he's got some to spare, obviously. And he may decide to sacrifice a few of those because he is playing a little bit more defensive style. His opponent really hasn't pressured yet. He's got a 5th base coming up down to the bottom right-hand corner. I saw a Stargate just pop up, but no fleet beacon. Looks like this probe is in position to throw that down in a second. PartinG just a little more worried about taking the space here in the middle.
Yep.
PartinG does have a very powerful force now. He's got the +3 attacks. He's got his fleet beacon on the way, a 4th base. So he's quite strong. But HyuN's really playing that style of, okay, Protoss player, why don't you just kill yourself on these spine crawlers and all my forces?
You're so right, Kevin, because, I mean, look at these Lings up top. He's got them, even burrowed, wow. They are just waiting. They are waiting for PartinG to push out across the map. PartinG, yeah, maybe he'll lose his 4th base, but those Lings are going to run rampant throughout PartinG's natural, his main, his 3rd. They're going to do an incredible amount of damage if we see Startail PartinG move out across the board.
Well, Archons are just coming online, and that fleet beacon's not even done yet. So Mothership is still an eternity away. It's going to be a while before we see Archons. So HyuN does have the better quality of forces right now. But of course, as he sits back and banks up resources, we'll see if he banks up larvae too. He's got 60 larvae right now. Yeah,
he is going to be able to reproduce any army now. He does have vision actually of the of PartinG's army. I'm not sure how. It's a burrowed Zergling. Is how he can see this. So right now he's going to move in with his Roaches and his Lings towards the 3rd base. We'll see if he can take it out simultaneously. His army's coming for a pincer maneuver from the north.
That's right, 9 Broodlords here with a lot of Infestors. Oh, the Infestors actually get trapped a little bit. They throw off a couple of fungal growths, but that's a lot of stuff dead for HyuN, and his Broodlords are actually going to be dealt with pretty efficiently, but there's no way for PartinG to deal with what's hitting inside of his 3rd and his natural. This was the damage that we were talking about. HyuN solidly lost an engagement up at the front, but he is going to do quite the amount of damage back at home. He's already killed 44 workers. His opponent's down to just 31 probes, and that's the damage that he wanted to do.
Oh, yeah, and he does not really mind losing that army because he can reproduce it. He's got a huge bank, 60 larvae, as you were pointing out earlier, Kev. And, I mean, let's take a look at the worker count for PartinG. Does he have any sustain left in this game? 31 workers. I would say very much not the case.
Yes, shaking that magic 8-ball, it's coming up. Probably not this time. I mean, he's got a lot of production that's still available to him even after losing those gateways up at the top. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that, even though he has a pretty powerful army with a good number of Colossi, if he delays for another 100 seconds for Mothership to come up, that's going to give HyuN the time that he needs to actually remax on the strongest possible army. If he moves out right now, he's going to get backstab again because he has no way to defend his 3rd.
But he needs to. He needs to move out right now. The more the time ticks by, the further and further ahead TSL HyuN is going to get in this game and take it to 4-1. So PartinG moving out right now. He's going to make the attack. There are Broodlords and Spine Crawlers in position waiting for him.
Yeah, there's going to be a total of 10 Broodlords here in just a second once these finish morphing up here at the top. The rest of the forces just blinking on top of everything, trying to pick off these Broodlords one by one. But the Spine Crawlers are actually doing their job of delaying when at the same time, HyuN's actually coming back around inside of the natural and disrupting things once again. So now the Colossi don't have any anti-air support. He's down to just 64 supply, and PartinG is once again in a very, very bad situation. There's GG. HyuN is just one game away from taking out PartinG.
Wow, 4-1 is where the set currently resides. I can't believe it, Kevin. I also can't believe we have not seen an Immortal Sentry play yet out of PartinG.
Yeah. Not a single one. I mean, we saw like
crazy.
We saw the fake one right there, the Immortal Sentry expand. So we're getting closer, I guess, but no Immortal Sentry all in yet.
Yeah, I mean, you need that third gas, and it's so easy if HyuN gets vision of it. And he's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this because I know if you only have. The thing is, he doesn't even have to like. All right, in that situation. You have the gases at your main base, especially if you go for like a forward first or something. If you take the gases in your main base, first off, they're spread out. They're on both sides of the expansion, so they're a little bit harder for Zerg to scout. Alternatively, the natural expansion, it's very easy to see the gases because they're both together on the same side and there's space behind it, so an Overlord can just float there. So HyuN, you can just float right over that empty space and you go, my opponent only has 2 gases. Now, it's a little, it's a little tough to take those gases over the ones in the main, but you know what? You can drop one and start mining off it and stop mining off the one in your main if you want. Yeah, it's 75 minerals, but it keeps your opponent a lot more confused. Right now, PartinG's just proving really easy to read.
He is, and he's not thrown that... I mean, I feel like he would have been in a lot better situation in terms of the mental game had he thrown in one of those Immortal Sentry all-ins at the beginning, too, because then HyuN could always be on the lookout for it. But as of now, it's not even been a concern. He's read Stargate multiple times. He's read Expand builds multiple times. He's had answers for all of them, and he's never even had to prepare for the possibility of an Immortal Sentry all-in.
He really hasn't.
That, HyuN's up 4-1. Guys, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, it's game number 6. HyuN, if he takes the next game, he wins his 14th week of Fight Club. PartinG, he's got some work to do.